Good morning. It's Sunday, June 9th, 2024. And I'm out. It's 6:30 and I'm out enjoying the cool morning before the sun comes up. Best time to be in the garden. So I'm starting here with the Roses Sharon, which we have the deer fencing around. I'm hoping, I don't like how the deer fencing looks, but I'm hoping that by next year it'll get tall enough that it'll survive anything the deer do to it without the fencing. But I'm just trying to give it a couple years good head start. And the angel trumpet is getting big. Of course, that doesn't bloom till later in the year. Last year it didn't bloom at all. Hopefully it will this year. The Mexican petunias are they're about half of what the height they'll be eventually. They put on a pretty show every day now. The purple flowers all along the side of the house. The canna lilies are starting. Yellow ones are my favorite. I love these ones that have the two-tone, red and yellow. These are pretty right now. They're not my favorite overall, but I like them together. Banana trees are getting big. Got elephant ears down here. That's the first time for those, so we'll see how big they get. And the beautyberry bush is big. It's getting some small little buds on it. There'll be little purple flowers. Some starting. I can zoom in. Which will turn into dark purple berries later in the year. I think this is called a fan flower. I don't remember, but it's just to give some color to this otherwise not empty, but not colorful pot. And this is a China jade cucumber. They get very long, and that's growing up. Got lots of little babies going up there. Another cucumber in here. I'm trying to succession plant the cucumbers because I've come to learn that they don't last very long in the heat. Disease and pests get at them, so try to keep them going so we always have some. This thyme smells wonderful. This is the red hot poker, which seems to only just do one little flower. It's not real exciting. I stuck it in a pot because it doesn't do enough to give me a lot of enjoyment in the garden. There's some water from the rain we had a little while ago. And some more canna lilies. I just think they're so pretty with that red and yellow combined in one flower. The pink yarrow. And the verbena, which was one plant 2 years ago, and it's just taken over. And it doesn't handle if we get a harsh winter, but it's gotten through 2 winters, I think. Maybe just 1 winter, I don't remember now. But for I don't know what I spend on it, less than $10 a couple years ago, and it just spreads like crazy, so it's great. And if it dies, we'll start again with a different color. Brown-eyed Susans, which I didn't remember planting here, and they've gotten huge. So I'll give them 1 year here. I don't know that I'm going to keep them here next year. Probably they're going to stay here because they can be invasive. Cosmos sunflower, that's a pretty one. None of these are tall. They're supposed to be the multi-head ones, which is nice, but I was hoping they'd be taller than they are. We'll see if they get taller. I've got a dahlia down here that's starting to do well. Some zinnias, lots of cosmos, carrots. Oh, I have poppies that 1 or 2 are making it, and they're just sort of starting, but they don't last very long because it's too hot for them. So they're blooming, but then maybe 1 or 2 days, and then they die. I had one over here. See if I can find it here. 2 of them. So there's the petals down here, the red. But 2 of them have already finished within really they bloom for a day or 2. But here's another bud. There's a couple of them. I didn't think I was going to get any. I don't know why they didn't do well this year, but they didn't. And but I'm happy to see a couple. again, more yarrow, and the verbena, and the carrot starting to flower. Let's see if I can get in zoom in on that carrot flower. This was a purple carrot. And that's not as tall as they got last year. I'm trying to keep this garden not as tall, other than I wanted tall sunflowers. I wanted things not to get 5 and 6 feet tall like they've been getting, because I'm afraid they're gonna fall over. And it's just, the staking is a pain. So this is the cherry tomato I got from Holly, doing quite well, starting to produce. So I have lots of cherry tomatoes coming there. And my potatoes, we harvested 1 bag. I just got 1 dinner out of them. These are not huge producers, but they're fun, and they're always so good. The hibiscus is starting to bloom. We got lots of buds on it. That's always so pretty. I've got some more small little sunflowers back here, here, and here. And then again, more succession planting with cucumbers on both sides. And the blanket flowers, cone flowers, Shasta Daisy garden. I put some Cosmo back here, and some zinnias I think are coming up too. They're small still, but that will be the taller flowers in the back of this garden when the sunflowers are done. Again, those sunflowers are not getting real tall, but they're the multi-head, which should stay with some color for a longer period of time, which is what I was going for. And then I didn't know if this yellow coneflower had made it, but it appears that it did. So I'm happy to see. It's small, but I transplanted it in the fall, and I hoped I didn't kill it. So the 2 purple, the yellow on this side, and then red on this side. And then the blanket flowers all along the front. The bee balm is starting to bloom. And I had chopped this. Last year I didn't. And it got taller than the fence, and it was flopping over, and I had to tie it up, and it was just a big pain. And watching Bree, she suggested what she calls a Chelsea chop. So a month or so ago, I went through and just chopped it all. It was maybe at 24 inches, and I chopped it down part way. And now it's blooming at a reasonable height, so I get the enjoyment without the mess of them falling over. They still fall a little bit, but they're not staked up, they're not tied up, and they're doing okay. These daylilies are so pretty. I love these ones. None of them are open yet, but they've been opening every day, and they're very pretty. Butterfly bush. Both of these butterfly bushes. This one just is really small still. I don't know why it's not as big as this one. It was looking pretty sad last year, so I chopped them way down this spring, and they're coming back. Hopefully they'll be okay, but I don't know if this is lack of water. I've got it on drip irrigation, but maybe it needs to be more. Pretty impatiens, I think. I love that color. More sunflowers behind there. Gladiolas, I had the red and the purple, and there was some white in there. The white's done, but you can see I gotta tie them up or stake them up. They fall. They get so big they fall over. And more daylilies. Those bee balm back there have not opened yet. And then over here and over there are some obedient plant, which I also chopped down because they get like 6-7 feet tall and fall over. So I'm trying to keep them shorter, more manageable. This garden is what gives me the big show in the springtime, so it's just mostly green right now. Carolina phlox, dianthus. These 2 white sun patients get huge. I found that I just did them for the first time last year, and they will be the focal point as the summer goes on. That is the wild geranium, which are so pretty. They're beautiful in the spring, and then they're sort of sporadic throughout the heat, and then they bloom again more in the fall. And then in front of them is that mum that has just gone crazy. I don't know where I got it, from the store, grocery store probably, and stuck it in a couple years ago. And it's just multiplied and multiplied, and I pinched it back, and it's spread. Should be gorgeous this fall. This is a plumeria. I forget what it's called. the blue. Trying it again. Last year it didn't do great for me, but I've staked it up. I'm trying to fertilize it, and hopefully it'll do better this year. I did take out that other hollyhock I had here, the burgundy one that looked like it was going to be so pretty, but it was so diseased none of the flowers opened. This pink one, which has been just giving me a show for the longest time, is just about done. But man, I love it. It's so tall. I don't know, 8-10 feet tall probably. It's so beautiful. I'm trying to let it go to seed so it will replant itself because it's a biennial. So it needs to grow another plant this year if I want any flowers next year. So we'll see what happens with that. So though it doesn't look great right now because it also has that fungal disease on it. The leaves don't look good. I'm trying to tough it out and let the seeds mature and plant themselves. More gladiolas. And again, more dianthus and Carolina phlox. These are some yellow daylilies that are about to open on this side. The arch has peas, which there's still some beautiful flowers on them. I was going to take them down because they're starting to get old and they're really getting 1 or 2 pea pods a day. It's almost not worth having it there, but the flowers are pretty, and I thought, well, they're still tasty. And there's room for them. I was going to give more room to cucumbers, which are climbing up, but I'm letting them duke it out. And then I also have morning glories in there too. So morning glories, cucumbers, and peas. And there's some more pea flowers. And you can see the cucumbers. All right, I can get one in there. There's a cucumber in there. Not focusing very well. There's another one. I've been harvesting those daily. And same thing on the other side. I did cut these peas down, but then I found some more blossoms, so I left them, but I may end up taking those out. But I'm just going to cut them and leave them in the ground because I've learned that the roots, they feed nitrogen to the soil, so I'm going to leave the roots in there. There's a pea pod I can pick. There's a couple of them, I think. There's one. I thought I saw another one. I can come back and get that later. And again, morning glory is climbing up here too. So it's getting pretty full. Here's the yellow daylilies. On this side, they are blooming this morning. It's a pretty lemony yellow. More sunflowers. Peonies, which are done. Brown-eyed Susans. Some Asian lilies getting ready. The orange coneflowers. This one I just got this year. It's called Echinacea pallida. I'm not sure. I think it may be a white color. I'm not sure. Got annuals along the front and nasturtiums. More gladiolas. And the pineapple lily. Such a pretty purple color. The white coneflowers are so beautiful. More Asian lilies and some more gladiolas that are very tall. Brown-eyed Susans, peonies. This unknown plant, I don't know, I keep guessing at what it is. It's the white flowers that look like purple asters to me, but they're white and they bloom in the fall. But these are putting on a really good show. If I cut these back when they're done, I think they'll bloom again in the fall. That melon is just not dying, but it's not growing, so we'll see if it'll come along. Clematis and another cucumber sharing this trellis. It's a pretty clematis. It's working well. And the vegetables are doing really well right now. The cucumbers. There's a little baby cucumber there. And more cucumbers. This is a melon. This one's doing quite well. So I'll let it climb, I'll let it sprawl, and And I just have flowers for color. Again, the strawberry I just kept because I thought the flowers were pretty. There's a little red strawberry, teeny tiny. The fruit is so small, and usually the birds or the slugs get it before I do. So I'm literally just growing it because the flower is pretty. And it's nostalgic for me. Verbena. Tomatoes are doing really well. Again, I created this trellising system for indeterminate tomatoes, and then I planted determinate. All of them are determinate, so it's not the best trellising system for the kind that I grew, but it just circumstances just worked out that way. Then I got the free seeds and they all germinated, and then they turned out to all be determinate. So it's working. It's not what I envisioned. I envisioned them all going all the way up. I don't think these are going to do that, but they're producing amazing fruit. I've got them everywhere. They're all, nothing that obviously is red yet, but there's just tomatoes galore in all of them. Doing fantastic. So they all have tomato babies. The clematis I got from Carol is doing great. It's spreading all down the fence. I've got fishing line all along to twine it along. They're fighting a little bit with the tomatoes, but I'm trying to keep them separated. So they're looking good. And again, more cucumbers on this side. I think I picked all of these, and the marigolds. And this is the China jade. This cracks me up how big it gets. I'm not even sure how long to let it go, but this is also growing up that tomato twine, and it seems to be. I've got a post or a bamboo stake in here, but there's another baby. They just keep producing, so I'm having fun with that. And there's the clematis going up the posts that we have here. Lots of little purple flowers. And it's going down the guide wire along the house. And we've got the black and blues and the bees. Lots of bees. And hummingbirds love this. This is the green apple cucumber. They look like little green apples, but they taste just like a regular cucumber. And they're just the right size for a sandwich or a salad. Parsley, I've been using that for cooking. It's very good. This annual pot is looking pretty. The snapdragons I cut back, and they're blooming again. So there's the black and blues tucked in with the azaleas and the bees. And our fountains for the birds. This one is a solar fountain, so it's not running yet. The sun's not hitting it yet. And then this one's electric. I seem to be going to that one more. I've got morning glories growing up the blueberry fencing, which is catching birds. They get in, no matter what we do, they get in, but I can let them out, and I do. The door opens up, so when they get in, I just have to open the door and they fly out. Got my first blueberry yesterday. More morning glories climbing up this side. And then this is moonflowers, sunflowers, and a variety of other things. I'm not sure what. The survival of the fittest here. Here's a blueberry starting to turn purple. And this is rice. It's black madras rice. It's got this purpley leaf. And just keep it in a pot with no drainage holes. I grew it last year and it was fun, so I'm doing it again this year. I've got it close to the water. So, well, that's it for this morning. Hope you all have a good week, and I will do some more videos at a later date. Have a great day.